As nighttime janitor David Miller was locking classroom doors, he heard children whispering from the dark second-floor hallway. But he was the only person inside Jefferson High School that night. David had only recently started the night shift, and long, silent school corridors still made him uncomfortable. It was late fall, and cold winds rattled the old building's windows. He had heard odd noises before, always telling himself it was just the wind. But at 11:40 p.m., as he climbed the stairs to the second floor, he heard footsteps ahead of him. Light, fast, childlike steps. He froze. "Who's up there?" No answer, only the slow creak of a classroom door opening by itself. The door that opened belonged to room 2-17. Nobody liked talking about that room. 8 years earlier, a freshman girl had vanished during an after-hour study session. Her books were found under the window. She never was. David unlocked the door and pushed it open. The classroom was empty, except for one dusty notebook sitting on the back desk. Inside, someone had scribbled frantically, the handwriting uneven and panicked. "Don't close the window. They're inside." David's chest tightened. Who are they? Just then, the classroom window slowly, quietly opened inward. The wind outside was completely still. A dark silhouette appeared at the window, long hair covering its face, small frame, a girl. She stepped inside. Her feet didn't touch the ground. David stumbled back, ran into the hallway, and instantly every classroom door slammed shut at once. From downstairs came children's laughter, but twisted, distorted, and cruel. David ran to the stairwell. It was empty, but suddenly, the school bell rang, loud. Midnight. School bells never rang at midnight. He sprinted to the main exit, yanked the door. It wasn't locked, but something held it shut from the inside, like an unseen force gripping it. He slowly turned around. The girl from room 2-17 stood on the staircase, descending one step at a time, but she didn't move naturally. Every time she blinked out of sight, she reappeared closer. Through the hair covering her face, David saw nothing but two empty black hollows where her eyes should have been. David pounded on the door, terrified. "What do you want from me?" Her voice echoed from far away, yet clear as if she were whispering into his ear. "No one leaves the school at night. We never got to leave." And then, silence. At 7 a.m., the morning staff arrived. The front door was wide open, but David was nowhere to be found. In room 2-17, the dusty notebook lay open on a desk. A fresh line had been added during the night. They took another one, never closed the window.
It was 1:13 a.m. when the school finally fell silent, or at least they thought so. Outside, wind grazed the classroom windows like fingers. Inside, 3 boys crept down the corridor. Ethan, Brandon, and Jason. They had come for the basement everyone warned them about, the room that had been locked for years. As they stepped near the double doors, a sound reached them, a small, childish laugh. It sounded exactly like the laugh of Zohid, the student who had vanished from this school 10 years ago. The laugh stopped. The lock on room 14 clinked, as if someone had just opened it. They stood before the heavy, rusted door labeled 14. Rumors swirled through town. Lights flickered below. Footsteps echoed when no one walked, and sometimes chairs scraped by themselves. Most unsettling of all was the story of Zohid, the boy who left class one afternoon and simply never came back. His trail ended at this door. Tonight, the chain that had bound it for a decade lay broken on the concrete, a metallic clatter on the floor. Brandon whispered, "Nobody would break that lock, right?" Ethan clicked on his flashlight. The beam sliced into the dark. The basement smelled of old chalk, damp wood, and something else, a cold metal tang that crawled along their tongues. The boys moved through rows of abandoned desks and rusted lockers. Above them, a plank fell with a dry crack. Below, from somewhere deep, a scratching sound began. Slow, deliberate, like nails raking across concrete. Each scrape drew nearer, as if something beneath the floor was climbing up. Jason froze. A shadow slid under the stairway, too low to be a person. The sound circled them, patient and hungry.
They pushed into room 14. Old maps sagged on the walls. Dust veiled every surface. At the center, beneath a desk, something hunched, a dark, hunched silhouette. When Brandon peered closer, it straightened with a slow, painful tilt of its head. Its eyes were wrong, milky white, unseeing, but fixed on them with terrible intent. A dry, childlike whisper crawled from the silhouette's throat. "I couldn't leave. Now you can't either." The air thickened. The boys realized the place had been waiting.
They ran for the stairs, but the basement stretched into corridors that shouldn't exist. More doors, endless bricks, a hallway that looped back on itself. Zohid's laugh multiplied, at first a single sound, then dozens of small voices, faster and higher, running along the cinder block like ants. Little shadow forms flickered at the edges of the flashlight beams. They had no feet, only smudges that skittered. Ethan's light winked out. When it returned, Brandon was gone. Only his voice echoed from inside the walls, thin and far away. The laughter slowed into one voice, low and patient. "I have been waiting 10 years." Ethan stumbled into the open and spilled into the rain-damp courtyard. Behind him, the basement door sighed shut on its own, the old hinges whispering like a teacher. Ethan stumbled into the open and spilled into the rain-damp courtyard. Behind him, the basement door sighed shut on its own, the old hinges whispering like a teacher calling roll. In the dim, he heard it again, the soft, familiar clap of hands, not celebrating, but marking attendance. A voice breathed at his shoulder, near as breath. "You'll come back." Ethan ran until his lungs burned, until the school's brick walls were behind him. He never looked back.